the way you. University of Connecticut.
Hola. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning or good night, where I am. Hi.
Yes, you poor things that we feel for you.
It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay and see me okay?
Yeah, we can. I'm not sure about Angel. Corinne, good morning.
Hi. Hi, this came on really easily.
Well, there we
Hi.
go. It's the
Thank you.
Yeah.
thinking. Free up that. Good. Glad you were able to get on board, Corinne.
Thank you.
I'm just
Great.
adjusting my sound. I'm in a hotel room. Long story. I might need to put my earpods in, but I'm just checking the microphone and the
Okay.
audio.
And then when you're ready, I'd like you just to do a quick check on sharing your screen again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will do. I can do that right now.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah, it should be working.
Yes, I'm seeing full screen.
And I have the arrows, so it should be okay.
Oh, you found out how to get the arrows, did you?
Yeah, they magically appeared. After I finished going through everything and sorry, and putting them into a folder, the arrows magically appeared. So we should be okay.
Hey, Rachel, can you hear me?
I'm having trouble hearing you, but I think it's at my end. So I'm gonna just go and get my earphones.
Okay, Rachel, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. Is that Emilio?
Now?
Perfectly. Yeah.
No, okay. I am checking the microphones for the people.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Good, good. We had a quite bad flood in my town earlier on with the monsoon, including my apartment. So I've come to a hotel room where everything seems to be working, but lots of things are shut down in the town at the moment.
Rachel, could you stop sharing your screen for a minute? Microphone for you.
I can't hear you very well.
We have two microphones here. Please.
No?
No. Okay, just we're just we're going to do a bit more organising here, Rachel and Corinne. So just forgive us while the chaos, okay?
It's okay, it's fine.
Studio pictures. I want to do a little count.
That'll be excellent. Excellent. Keep the microphone for where I'll talk to you on it. Here, it'll give you the microphone. Yeah. Right, well, let's just. There we go. All right, so just copy that.
Oh, that's better. I can hear you better now.
Yeah, we've moved the microphone closer. So
So
yeah,
much better. It was echoey before.
ignore anything that gets said here. We deny it. Just because it's on Google.
None of the stuff.
Yeah. No, I've just.
So that's just studio pictures.
It's just the studio presentation I've got. Yeah.
It's from my end, it sounds a bit echoey in the hotel. I can hear you, it's okay, but can you hear me okay in the hotel?
I know we got you on the speakers in the hotel, so you're really coming across loud and clear, Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I speak even a bit quieter? Because I'm in a hotel. My biggest worry is that I'm going to disturb people and get an angry knock at 2:30 a.m. my time.
Yeah, you can speak quieter. You're coming across very well here. So there's, yeah, as you wish.
We should be fine.
Yeah, there we go. Now it's picking up nicely.
That sounds good to me too.
And then Rod, you just use left arrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same as when I load into mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all
Or you could
comes up different on
yeah. So anyway, so we're done with the stick now. So that's yours. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So you can use the mouse, right arrow, left arrow, or you can use the keys on the keyboard.
Okay.
Okay.
Brilliant.
And oops. There it goes. I don't know why that goes there. So we'll do that. We'll just I will set the screen sharing
Yeah.
for you so that people online can see it and we get it on here.
Okay.
Okay.
Brilliant.
And do you want to start with this first picture?
Yeah.
Do you want to start with this first picture of the
Another beauty thing. There
Wait.
should be there.
where do you want to start?
Do you want me to share?
No, thanks, Rachel. I'm talking with Rod at the minute.
I don't know. It's not in the order I put it. It doesn't have.
See, they're in alphabetical order at the minute, Rod.
Oh, I see.
Do you want a different order?
Well, I would like best.
Best.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
And so start with this first image.
Yeah.
So then we can get to that when you're ready. Okay.
Yep. Fine.
So
Yeah.
I'll get this up for you and then you can talk through.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that, Rachel and Corinne.
No worries. It's
No
fine.
problem.
We're just getting set up. It's the this is the first time using Google Meet, so it's like, oh.
That's okay. I know Google Meet. My biggest worry is that I will disturb the other hotel guests.
No, we're in. So on your end, talk quietly, yeah, because you're coming across very loud and clear at the minute. At our
Okay.
end, we're in a meeting room a mile away from all the residents. So, and it's in the middle of the morning here. So,
Okay, so if I talk at about this level, is that okay?
yes,
I might get excited by some images and talk a bit louder because there are some good ones.
well, that's on you.
I will try to keep it to a 2 a.m. level for Costa Rica.
There you go. Right, so let's just close that. This, I'm going to switch away from me to the room now, Rachel.
Okay.
Wonders of technology. There we go. That's that.
Okay. That's terrifying. Thank you for sharing that.
Rod's going to start. Good. Right. So what's the view options? Rachel, do you happen to know how to change the view options for the various windows in Google Meet? Is that?
From what to what?
Well, just change layout. That's auto dynamic.
Like on Zoom where you have speaker or you have a panel?
Yeah, there we go. I think that's going to work for us. Right. So I can stop sharing that for a minute. Stop presenting. Oh. And change layouts to auto dynamic. And we shall see. Right. So we've got 10-15 minutes. So if you want to get more coffee or water or whatever, then
I will certainly fill up my coffee.
good plan. Yeah. So we just got them sorting out of the room, and then around 10 we'll start herding people in. So but
No worries. Everything my end is ready to go. So
I think we're pretty organized this end. So fingers crossed. Good. Right.
That's fine. Thank you, Dave. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go and get more coffee, but I'm still here.
It's quite loud. We can change that.
Am I loud?
No. It's it's loud in the hotel. Yeah.
I have a tendency when I speak online to speak loudly, but because I'm in a hotel, if I can like remember to speak a bit quietly, that would be good.
No,
if that's okay at your end.
That's perfect at our end, and I've turned the volume down from the speakers, so we're getting a bit less blasted here. So
perfect.
yeah, consider that.
Hopefully I won't get any angry knocks on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning saying,
One
what do you...
minute. One minute.
Where's she gone?
No, there.
Oh, hello. Enjoy
Hi, Jean, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, enjoy your Costa Rican coffee. I remember it well. Yeah.
100% Costa Rican, and I am enjoying it. I'm going to fill it up before I start the critique.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. We're getting right. How are we doing, Jim?
All right.
Thanks. So we have pictures from Mark Rubio. Yeah. And also Jen, the new member who submitted it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. All right. Nice to see you. We're making it a little bit less full. I don't think there'll be too many people. I don't think we need to go to 10.
Yes, but it's not quite the same one.
Far too many chairs here.
Yeah. Emilio. How do you get yes. Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very hot.
Leave the microphone just for a little. Okay.
There you go.
Hi, Trevor.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Hi, Trevor.
I'm short. Too short.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
It's a bit hot here.
Yes.
Share the screen. So excuse us, Trevor, I need to give Amelia a bit of a lesson.
Hi.
Hi, Corinne.
Hi.
So sharing is this one.
Mhm.
Present now. And it says what do you want to do, and you can do browser tabs, the entire screen, everything, which don't do because you get infinity mirror or window. And so Rod wants to do, so this is Photos app. So you can, so we can do file it for Photos app, and so share that, and that comes up. Ignore this, and then it might be better to do change layout and spotlight, and then that's the biggest image
Yeah.
on there.
Yes. Okay. Full screen now.
So now to control,
Mhm.
we're actually sharing this app. Yeah. Yeah. And so now we can do that. Yeah. Go to the application that you're sharing. Yeah.
Okay, go back. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Then you take this here.
Yeah. Even better. Yeah. And see, because we're showing this screen anyway. See, whatever's on this screen is on there behind you.
Hi, Trevor. Can you see the full screen?
No, I'm on a mix here. I don't know how to change to a full screen at this side.
Are you seeing the picture of the 4 women in white?
I'm seeing that on the left-hand side of my screen, and
Right.
then a picture of you across the top, and 4 other members underneath, or 3 other members plus me underneath.
So Trevor, try clicking on the 3 dots at the bottom of the screen, which is the more, in your Google
Yeah.
Meet window. Yeah. And then you
Yes.
should think change layout.
I've got a box with CC in it. I've got a speaker box, on the go, in-call messages, settings, tools, and report abuse.
So down the bottom of the screen, you should have your microphone, your camera setting, CC.
No, my microphone was top right.
Oh. Are you on a mobile app rather than PC?
I'm on a tablet, but I've
Yes.
gone through. I've gone through the link, and I'm assuming it's gone through Chrome
Yep.
or something as
Got it.
well.
You're probably on in the app rather than the browser window.
Ah,
And so what's the
right.
big difference?
Things
Yes.
it has suddenly just changed. I've got camera on the left. I've got microphone next to it. I've got a smiley face, an up arrow, and a hand.
Right. And then beside the hand, you have 3 dots that says
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I
click
press
on-
that, and
Yeah.
that's come up exactly the same as before. CC in a box, a speaker, a man walking next to on the go, in-call messages, settings, tools, and report abuse. Nothing else.
Okay. See, we have change. Oh, change. Yeah, you don't have change layout.
Hang on, there's another. There's a 3 dots. Oh no, that's just the 3 dots next to each image.
Yeah.
I'll,
Yeah, you
I'll
need to
press
look-
that and see what it says. No, that just says. Oh, that says images mute. Don't watch pin full screen. Try that.
Try that.
Oh no, wrong. That's made you full screen. That's not what I want.
No, I have to stop. Just wait a minute. Just wait.
All right.
Just yeah. Spotlight.
I can see the image of you and Emilio is full screen.
Oh,
The picture has now disappeared
right.
of your screen.
So try what you did with Emilio and me, but try to do it with the image of the 4 women.
I've got to get back to where I was now. Right.
Get back to were before.
Unfortunately, on the picture with 4 women, there's no 3 dots, which is what I had.
Even if you click on it.
That's what I just did. Yes.
Okay, see that was full screen.
Yeah, but it's changed.
No,
I see what you mean. Yeah. Hang on.
Let's try that. Oh, hang on, I've hit something. There is a little box, which is just a picture of a box, and I've hit that, and I've got closer to full screen.
Right.
It's
Good.
not full screen, but it's a lot. It's at least is 70% of my screen.
Just 1 minute. So just 1 minute. This side. Here we go. That one. There. There. How are we doing now? Full screen.
That is full screen. Although unfortunately, the bar with the camera, the microphone, the smiley face, the up arrow, and the wavy hand, and the hang up is now lying across the bottom of the image and hiding.
Yeah,
10% of the image.
that might be the best we're going to be able to do on a mobile.
Right. Okay, I'll put up with that on the mobile. I'm in Cardiff. I'm in Cardiff at the moment.
Yeah. Let's see how we do. Right, back to Google Meets.
Good morning.
Morning, Angel.
Okay.
Hi, Angel.
Hello.
Yeah. Ah.
What time is it in Puerto Rico?
Good morning, everyone.
It's 10 o'clock in Bedar.
There we go. Yeah.
Rachel, what time there?
It's 2 a.m. in Costa Rica. And this is brought to you from a hotel room in Costa Rica. So I'm keeping it authentic for the travel challenge.
Good morning, and it's 10 o'clock here also. A sunny, nice weather.
Yeah.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Teresa.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I'm assuming I'm the only person here who has not yet been to bed then.
You took that approach, did you? Rather than the get up after having a bit of sleep, you're toughing it out.
Oh, no, that was the plan until we had intense flooding in my town earlier on today, including my apartment, meaning that I have had to come to a hotel room for the night.
No.
Yeah, part of my ceiling has fallen down. There's quite a lot of damage in my apartment. So I came to a hotel room about 9:30 last night. Okay. Had some dinner, had a shower, and thought I'll just stay up. So I'll go to bed behind me. At 4:30, when we finish this, I'm going right to my bed.
Rachel, can I just do a quick check with the other people on the call? So Andy Funnell, good morning. Are you with us?
Good. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Corrine, all good with you?
Yes.
Excellent. Anel, hola.
Angel.
Hi.
Ah, perfect. Good. Eileen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You joined us okay?
Yeah.
Teresa, hello, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, you were able to connect okay?
Yes, it was easy.
Easy. That's what I'd like to hear. Good. Oh, for first time, it's okay. Right. People are arriving, so we'll get ready.
How to change the web?
So
I will just apologise that I won't be able to stay for the second half of the meeting. So sorry about that.
I'll forgive you.
Rachel,
Yeah.
as I do have to leave after the end of the first half, if you want me to say any words about my images before I go, I can always do that at the end of the first
No,
half.
no, you go. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine.
Good.
I'm just hoping that I get through the next hour and a half without having a knock from the hotel manager saying, "Oh, you're disturbing the guests." So people leaving halfway through, honestly, it's the least of my worries. Go ahead.
He's introduced.
Do you want me to kick it off and introduce you, and then where's Jean?
Who
Yeah.
else is there?
Jean's got a list of things to go through, so you can get Jean. Jean.
Rachel's up in the middle of the night again.
I have to get brave to do that. Really?
We have Jay with us. Good morning. We ready to get started?
Well, I know there was. I know the. Yeah, yeah.
How's the weather there in Spain?
Too hot.
Gorgeous.
If you just ask Trevor to talk about and Dave to
Oh, yeah.
talk about the new system, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, my daughter.
Yes.
You don't.
Going incognito as Jay. Okay.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning or good evening in Rachel's case.
Good middle of the night.
Good middle of the night, yeah. Rachel's going to do the critique today.
Yeah. Need to speak a bit louder for the people in the room. Yeah. I think the people online are getting it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
they're definitely getting it.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so I'll speak louder. Yeah, I'm going to do a little presentation of my studio in a moment. What else did you tell me?
I'll talk about Google Meet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to ask Trevor to talk about Framlingham USA Challenge.
That's yeah. So we'll start with Dave doing his introduction to the new system here. New to us.
So thanks to everyone for bearing through the trials and tribulations. We're trying to move off Zoom. We've got 8 or 9 people joined online, so something must have worked out in the transition to Google Meet. There will no doubt be some hiccups along the way as slightly new things, but I'll just show you I'm using Google Meet essentially in a web browser on this computer. It's probably the easiest way of using Google Meet, and there's more people in the room than online. I can just show you behind. So this is what Google Meet looks like when you use it in a browser. The people online, I'm sorry, you just have to bear with me. You won't see what I'm clicking on here. I'll keep it pretty short. There's just 2 or 3 things I want to show you here. So the first is the 3 dots down the bottom. So actually, let's start. So microphone and camera. It's like Zoom. If you click on the mic, you mute the microphone. If you click on the camera, you mute the camera, or you turn off the video from the camera. You can also use the arrows to change which microphone or which camera, because we have 2 cameras here in this setting, and we'll change that in a minute. I'll come on to the captions in a minute. Smiley face, so you can have a smile or wave your hand or whatever, or I think I'll raise your hand over to this side here. Screen sharing, I will also come back to, but the first thing I want to do is on the 3 dots, then change layout, and Google, by default, Google will try and automatically fit everybody in. I quite like the spotlight. as it has the last person talking in the big window. So Corinne, you're up on full view here at the minute. So
I'm up on what?
oh, you're up on full screen in the room here. So
Oh, okay. So do
that's
I
okay. Yeah.
push something here?
So we'll just have to change, and it's a bit of experimentation as we go. One thing that I'm really excited about with Google Meet, and what I really wanted to achieve, is support for translation for people who's, we feel very bad. We're in Spain, and yet I speak very little Spanish, and most of what we do is in English, and we want to support our Spanish members better. So we can turn on live captions down the bottom here, and I can turn on the translation to translated captions, and these should now be in Spanish. Oh, we're in Afrikaans. So we're here, we click on the icon, and we select the language that we want, which is not Afrikaans, doesn't help anybody. But down here we have Spanish. And now I'm speaking in Spanish. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for these meetings, it's maybe not so useful, but for the online meetings, then people who want can switch on the live captions. Yeah, but we then lose pictures. So we shall see.
Just to let you know, it's still coming up in English on mine.
Yeah, you'll have to set your own translation. So everyone should be able to pick translated captions and then do settings. And using the browser may work better than using the app on particularly a phone or a tablet. It's a slightly different experience.
I'm going to put them in Spanish and see how well they work.
Yeah, do. But better than not at all. So those are captions, which I'm very pleased about. And then the other thing is sometimes you will be asked to do some screen sharing. And so it's the little box with an up arrow in it. And you get into here and you can select, you want to select browser tab, your entire screen, probably not, or a particular window. So I'm going to leave it on the window, which will be for Rod's studio talk. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to now go to change layout and spotlight. And so now we should be saying, so now we're sharing the picture, the first picture of Rod's talk on his studio. So I'm going to hand up full screen and then hand over to Rod. So a very brief overview of Google Meet. Best to do some experimentation online, but I'm hopeful that it's going to be a good way forward for us.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it at the moment. I mean, it works fine, but we'll have to practice on it till we get it right. Really good. Right. I've decided to have an open day in the studio. That'll be on June the 15th, Sunday, June the 15th. It'll act as another mid-month meeting. Do you want me to hold that? Oh. And here I want to show you a few pictures. I mean, it's a good studio. It's small, but it's fully equipped. And you can get plenty of people. You get full size, full length, and white backgrounds, black backgrounds. You can do plenty. Still lifes, backlit, a whole bunch of stuff. This is this is a series I shot of somebody called Kelly and her family, and they were all dressed in white, and it worked out very well. Came good stuff here. And And I did fit some pictures of Donny's family. They were over here. They're not here very often, but they came and we shot some pictures of them in the studio. Whoops, no, that's not right. Well, I shot the whole family. I don't know whether it's going to come up. Sometimes when you load things into computers, I know it happens with Lightroom. They just change. They change completely. They change their order. But this is anyway. This is some of Donny's grandkids. That's Jean-Michel as a promotional picture for his cooking. And this was a beauty shot I did. She was very lovely. She wasn't a professional model, but she was good. And it's fine for nudes and everything. Yeah. It's good because it's quiet. It's pictured away from people. It's completely exclusive, so you can do what you like. Yeah. This is another one I did of a Russian girl. Very, very, very beautiful. She was a model at one point. And this is a Dutch girl, Eva, who's also very beautiful. And this shows you what you can do with a black background. I don't know whether you can see up the top there in the corner. Just you can see that's where the picture is. But that's you can do what you like there. Yeah, black, white. There's another black one. So, and still lifes. Yeah. Right. I will on June the 15th at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll be waiting for a view in the Parque Comercial. Parque Comercial. It's on the first floor, but we can wait downstairs from 10:30, say, in the Pura Vida Cafe, and we'll go up there together. It'll take a couple of hours, I think, to run through the whole lot. Bring your cameras, and you can do what you will go through. I'll probably have a couple of girls there, maybe a makeup artist, and we'll go through the whole range of availabilities. Okay, so
that sounds really excellent. Yep. So and we'll put round an email just to confirm, but 10:30 meets up in a fortnight's time for a visit to Rod's studio workshop there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Trevor, let's stop this screen sharing. Stop presenting. Yes, Trevor, do you want to say a few words about Ramlingham coming up?
Yes. The week after Rod's presentation on Sunday the 22nd, we have our second meeting, joint meeting with Gateway Camera Club in the United States. Slightly different this time. We're showing one or two images from all the people that have put images forward, and we're asking each member who has put the images forward just to say a few words, no more than a minute, about their photograph, and then have a bit of a general discussion. My pre-meeting conversations with the person from Gateway Club is suggesting we'll sort of show them in groups of 5, maybe 5 images from Vera, and then discuss them collectively, and then 5 images from Gateway and go. And I'm happy with that suggestion. So it hopefully be a fun evening as it was last time. The meeting is in the afternoon, not the morning, because of the time difference between the UK and the United States, which will suit Rachel nicely. The deadline for submitting images has passed, but I'm currently in Cardiff, we'll be heading back home today. So if anybody who hasn't submitted images and wants to do so, they have got till this evening a special dispensation to get the images submitted, and I will still accept them. But there is a hard deadline of this evening, for any possible late entries. We won't be accepting any entries after this evening.
Okay. Thanks, Trevor. That's good. And finally, are there some new members joining us today? It's good to see a really good crowd in the room.
I think everybody's been before.
Everyone's been before. Excellent. We have. So, welcome everyone. It's great to see such a good crowd.
Anybody new here? No?
Good, good. So, if that's everything, will we hand over to Rachel? Rachel, if you're with us and ready, then I think it's over to you. Oh.
I think you're muted, Rachel.
Rachel, we're not hearing you.
You're muted.
Yeah. We could see your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
So it would help if I turn my microphone on. That generally works.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to share. Okay, hopefully everybody is seeing the screen.
Yep, it's coming up.
Yep. I think most people know me. For people who don't know me, hi, I'm Rachel. I'm in Costa Rica. The reason for that being I was a club member for 10 years in Spain, and then 4 years ago left and moved here, but was allowed to continue being an online member of the club. So thank you for that. So I'm going to be critiquing the travel challenge today. Sorry, I'm just checking you're all seeing that okay?
Oh, yes. Good.
Perfect. I've been a club member for 10 years, and I've been lobbying the club for most of that time for, please, can we have a travel challenge? And the committee kept saying, no. And as far as I know, it's the first time we've ever had a travel challenge. So it's historic. The reason being that the committee were a bit worried, thinking, well, not everybody can go on foreign holidays and not everybody has expensive camera equipment to do a challenge like travel. And I was saying, no, it's not about that. We're not selling holidays. We're not trying to produce a travel brochure. I made a presentation back before Christmas, which had some technical problems. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe you missed it a bit. The point being that travel photography these days has moved on a bit. It's not about selling holidays. It's not about glamorous bikini photos on the beach. Today, it's about bringing a country to life, capturing the essence of a country and making it appeal to other people. And that was the point of the challenge. And thank you to the committee for finally agreeing to do it. So there are about 100 photos in this, so I'm not going to spend too long on each one. I think generally we've done a pretty good job as a club of doing this. I was expecting to critique a lot of sets about Spain and a lot of sets about Oaxaca in particular, and there are none. On the contrary, it's pretty much everything apart from Spain. I think we've captured every continent, I think, apart from Australia. Australia's not there, but all of the others are. What I've tried to do, hang on, I'll go through mine first. That will be easier. So these are mine. In the presentation, I was trying to explain that you're not selling a holiday and any genre can work as a travel.
Rachel, before you
Yes.
get too much further, could you just do the double arrows to go full screen? So bottom right hand corner, you're there. You do full screen. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So these are mine. These are China. In the presentation, I was trying to explain that any genre can be a travel photograph, as long as you capture the essence of the place and make it look good. Hopefully I've made it look good. I don't know. These are mine. This is China. So I put this one in. It's obvious what it is. It's a landscape photo, but it works as a travel photograph because it's obvious what we're looking at. I am not a landscape photographer. I had to pull this one off Facebook as well because the original is on a DVD, but hopefully we all know what we're looking at. We all know that we are in China. I also chose that one as one of mine. Hopefully, again, it's iconic of China. I like the angle on it. I like the colors. I hoped it looked good. That's a photo that I wouldn't usually take. I don't usually photograph statues. But to me, it said Buddhism with the statue in the foreground and the pagoda in the background. That said something about East Asia and China. And I am a street photographer, and especially food. And you can't have a set of images really about China without having Chinese street food in there. So that was kind of the point of the travel challenge. And I think people have done that. And like I said, we have every continent apart from Australia. So I've grouped it a little bit differently. Usually we go through photographs alphabetically. I've done that a bit differently this time. I've mixed them up and grouped them by the countries in which they were taken and by continent. So we're going to take a trip across the globe, starting in the Americas and then working east across Africa and Europe and finishing in Asia. I've been playing a little guessing game with the photos, trying to guess where they were. I didn't know. I hope I have everybody's images in the right continents. I think I do. There's one or two I'm not so sure of. If I've got your images in the wrong place, that's my fault. That's not yours. I'm sorry. If it was Asia and I've put it in America, sorry, that's my fault. But I think I've got it pretty much okay. So without further ado, let's start. Sorry, that was mine. In North America, and if I'm not mistaken, in Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, USA. Stunning photograph. The colors in this national park are fantastic. The orange, the yellows, the reds. The composition here is amazing. It screams travel photography. It's the kind of thing you would see in a travel brochure. I like the idea as a photograph of putting this dead wood in the foreground. As a travel photograph, it wouldn't really need it because your focus is the canyon itself, which we'll see as we move through. Again, landscape shot and yet travel shot. It can only be one place. It can only be Bryce Canyon. What I love about this photo is I love the way the colors in the clouds mirror the colors in the canyon itself. It's taken at exactly the right time of day. I don't know if it was sunrise, sunset, or whether the photographer just got lucky, but it's a stunning landscape shot. I think it's fantastic. It would not be out of place in a travel brochure. It looks amazing, and it just screams the place where it is, which is USA. Wait for the next one. Even better, look at this. I'm guessing sunrise. If you're going to do travel photography, even though any genre will work, the usual rules apply. So golden hour, applies. Here it was taken at golden hour. Lovely shot of, I'm lucky enough to have been to this place. It's fantastic. To me, it was even more spectacular than Grand Canyon, because Grand Canyon is just too big to even get your head around. It's too vast. Bryce Canyon was a lot more beautiful because you have things to focus on. For example, this. And the photographer here has photographed on one of the, I don't know, what would you call them, pillars, one of the points of interest in the canyon in exactly the right time of light, has made it absolutely beautiful. I love the tree here, which shows you just how huge this canyon is. The only thing I would change, I would like a little bit more space above. That's kind of nitpicking. I think he's done a wonderful job of capturing this national park. And this one, I think, is epic. This has travel photography written all over it. It's beautiful. I don't know whether it's a real sunburst or whether there was a little bit of help in post-processing, but doesn't matter, it works. I love the way that the points on the sunburst mirror the points on the canyon here, and this lovely golden red orange light and the vastness of the landscape around it. Really, really good job of capturing this place. USA is vast. You think of the USA and you think Statue of Liberty, Los Angeles, Hollywood sign. But for me, the beauty in the Americas generally, and you'll see it more in what's to come, is the landscapes, not the cities, but things like this. And I think this has done a beautiful job of capturing the west, the golden west of the USA. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. And that's Richard. Well done, Richard. Moving on. I'm assuming I have this one in the right place. I'm guessing USA because this seems to be the USA flag. Wonderfully captured shot. I'm not sure whether I would say travel photography. One thing about travel photography is you make it appeal to a wide audience who might want to go there. And anything that focuses too much on politics, military, anything that might be controversial might not be travel photography. And this one is a little bit too much military. However, it's done a great job of setting itself in the USA, for sure. It's a wonderful capture. I'm not entirely sure if it's travel photography. It could be a very niche kind of travel. If you wanted to go to the USA and explore the military history. This one, on the other hand, screams USA. It's only a foot. All we can see is a foot, and yet we can see an entire country. There's the cowboy boots, the spur, the blue jeans. You can't be anywhere other than the USA. What a fantastic job of capturing exactly what you want to say about a place with just such a small focus. It's a wonderful shot. I love it. The only thing I would change, if I had to nitpick, and it is nitpicking, it's a shame that we can't see the toe of the boot and the whole thing. But I get that that wasn't the focus of the photographer. He wanted to show the heel, the spur, and he did that really well. This could go in a brochure. If you think about USA, you think about cowboys, Clint Eastwood, whatever, this sums it all up. It's a perfect example of travel photography. Really nice. No, I'm in two minds about this one. It's a fun shot. I like it. As a piece of street photography, I think it's really good. As travel photography, does it hit the mark or not? I'm not sure. It's got that kind of like only in America feel to it, and it's a fun shot. Would I Google USA and see this? I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a no for travel photography, but I'm going to critique it as a piece of street photography instead and say, well done, because what a great capture. And this one is one of a few photos in the challenge that I was back and forth with. Is it travel? Isn't it? With this one, I finally decided, yes, it is. It's obviously veteran, Pearl Harbor veteran. I'm guessing from the background, he is on Oahu by Pearl Harbor. It's more of a photojournalism shot, I guess, but it works as travel. If you think about historic places, Pearl Harbor being one of them, Gallipoli being another, killing fields of Cambodia, Germany, whatever, you will often see in that travel photography examples of the history, whether it's the war graves, whether it's whatever. I was lucky enough last year to go to Hawaii and to go to Oahu. When I Googled things to do on Oahu, Pearl Harbor came up time and time again. And it was usually photographs of the wreck of the Arizona or the memorial. This, I think, hits so much harder and I think is so much better than what I saw. So I'm going to say it's niche travel photography, but yes, it is. Apart from that, what a wonderful capture. Critiquing it away from travel photography and as what it is, what a wonderful shot. Zoomed right in close to the face. And who knows what memories are behind those eyes. That entire photo makes you think. So a nice set, I like those. And that's Mark. Well done, Mark. I'm guessing this is America's. When I first saw this photo, I thought, whoa, I hope we have one like this. I'm guessing taken from the plane. I don't think anybody in the club owns a drone at the moment. It's got the white sand. It's got the archipelago of some islands. When I first saw this, and I didn't cheat and try and like Google where people were. I tried to guess from the images. And I saw this and I thought, oh, Caribbean. Oh, if it's not Caribbean, it's South Pacific. As a travel photo, it works fantastically. It's the first view that you get as you're coming into land over this place. The color of the water, the white of the beaches, and the clarity of the water, because you can see what's underneath. It draws you in immediately. It makes me want to be on that plane, landing in that place. My guess was kind of between Caribbean, South Pacific Islands. I wasn't sure. Next one in the set, I'm thinking, well, it's definitely not Spain, for sure. I am a sucker for beaches and beautiful beaches, and this one does the job. Look at the water. The photographer has captured the colors in the water fantastically, and the white in the sand. It looks amazing, and the clouds there. What a beautiful shot. And the shells. From a photographic point of view, the only thing that I would change, I would give a little more space at the bottom under the shell on the bottom left. I would be tempted to take a step back or two and lie on my belly and try to get the shells like quite big in the foreground and make a statement out of them. But I think it's a wonderful shot. And I'm still thinking, oh, I'm not sure. Is it Caribbean? Is it Pacific Islands? Maybe it's Indonesia. On to the next one. Okay, I'm going to rule out Indonesia. It's a local person, local girl. Travel photography, local people tell the best story ever, but you have to capture them in the right way. And this one is captured in the right way. The little girl on the white beach. Again, I would take a step or two back. I wish there was a little bit more space below her feet here. If the photographer had just like crouched down a bit more, even better if she was looking at the camera. But I'm getting quite a good sense of where this place is. And now I'm thinking, I think we're in the Caribbean. And the last one gives it away. We're in the Bahamas. No problem at all with taking a shot like this that gives it away, because it's done within context. It's the site of the Columbus landings, so it's a landmark. It's going to be the kind of thing that you see in a brochure for the Bahamas, if you look at it. It supports the other three photos in the set by underlining it, putting a full stop and saying, yeah, Caribbean, Bahamas. As a set, I think they work really well. Well done, Rod. Okay. The first set that I'm really hoping I've got it in the right place, and I apologize if I haven't. I'm thinking it's South America. When I first looked at the shot, my first thought was, oh, Spain and Andalusia, because it looks so Andalus. The dancing, it's a beautiful shot. The colors, the composition of it, the capture of it, it works really well as a travel photo, as a culture photo. I think it's lovely. I couldn't quite place it. I was thinking Andalusia. Moving on to this one, I was still thinking Andalusia, but those mountains are a little bit too high. It's a lovely landscape shot. I love the contrast in the red of this mountain here and the gray and the almost going into purple and blue in the background. And I love the dog in the foreground. He's not necessary, but I like that you added him. You can get away with that these days. You're telling the story of a place. You're not selling a holiday. You can do something like this. It's great. I like the way that the river curves round and leads you into the red of the mountain. I think it's a beautiful landscape shot. I still wasn't quite sure where we were. I was thinking Spain. Then I saw this. Not many of those in Spain. So now I'm thinking Peru, Bolivia, llama, alpaca. Those are like iconic of South America. Like capturing people, capturing wildlife is another thing that gives you a really good sense of the place. And this is a beautiful shot anyway. It's so much fun. Look at him. He's captured perfectly. He's all in focus. The background's blurred. You could possibly take the highlights down a little bit, take the exposure down a little bit. But if I'm right and we are in South America, then what a great way to represent that. I think he's really good fun. And then finally, this one, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, that's not a Spanish guy. He looks Peruvian or Bolivian. He's South American. It's a street shot. Street works really well with modern day travel photography. I like it very much. It's very well captured. I don't mind at all that there are tourists on the right. I think they add to the shot. I'm a little bit bothered by the guy in the red t-shirt, the bald guy, but he's too big to remove. You can't do much. The only thing I would change is to widen the frame a little bit more to the left. I want to see exactly what this guy is doing. I think he's cooking something, but I want to see exactly what he's cooking. But as a street shot, as a travel shot, it works. I am thinking it's Peru. Do feel free to interrupt me and tell me where your shots were taken, by the way. That's Vivian. Can Vivian confirm where they were?
Here at the
Isn't here, Vivian.
No, she's not here. She's
I
not
can't
here.
hear, sorry.
Vivian isn't here.
Argentina, the dancing tango.
Yeah. I would go for Argentina with the tango dancer in the first photo.
Vivian's not here.
No, it's not.
No.
I don't know. I'm guessing from the llama, the alpaca, I'm guessing Peru, Bolivia, but
They may not all be in the same country.
I think most people have put them in the same country. It seems to be. They might be different. We will wait until Facebook and find out. But again,
You've
a
gone off
nice
full
set.
screen, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry. I just come off full screen to try and look for Vivian.
Okay. Sorry.
So to be confirmed, that one. Crossing the Atlantic into, I hope, Northern Africa. It's a street shot. It's kind of halfway there for me. It could be a little bit sharper. It could be a little bit smoother. I can kind of like half place where he's from, but I can't get an entire sense of the country from him. But what's bothering me more is more the angle and the distance that the photographer is from him. It kind of works, but I wish the photographer had stepped a little bit back and got him a bit more in context. I like the moon here, that works well, but he's a little bit too close given that you're looking up at him rather than being exactly on an eye line. But he gives his location away a little bit. This one I think is fantastic. This one totally gives it away. For sure, we're in Northern Africa. Hopefully not Garucha. The decorated camels, it's a lovely piece of street photography, if you want to call it that. I love the way there's some action going on. I love the light on this. I think is beautiful. I love the way the light has made the sand dunes look this golden color, but at the same time, the camels and the camel controllers, riders themselves really stand out. It makes me want to go to that country. I think it's a beautifully executed shot. Again, and this comes up a few times, I wish there had been just a little bit more space around the left and the bottom of this camel on the left here. Not the end of the world, but that would just make it a little bit better. But I think it's a beautiful shot. Now I think I know where we are. I think we're in Egypt. If I'm not mistaken, and my history has not let me down, I'm pretty sure we're in Egypt. This being a statue of Tutankhamun. Again, a little bit tightly cropped. The light on it is really nice, and it does exactly the job of a travel photograph. It tells you where we are, and it's nicely done. A little bit tightly cropped, and a little bit to focus looking upwards from the bottom. I have never been to Egypt, so I don't know how to do the shots. Maybe taking a step or two back, or even raising the camera above your head to get more on a level with the eye line of the statue. But it does the job. It's obviously Egypt, I hope. And this one lets it down a little bit. I love the scene. I love the scene of the guy and the cow drinking from the river. For me, it doesn't quite hit the mark of travel photography because I'm not quite sure what it's showing me or what story it's telling me. And it's ever so slightly, sadly, out of focus, a bit of camera shake or taken on a long lens, I'm not sure. I like the scene, doesn't quite work as a travel photograph, but the other three, yes. And that's Angel. Well done, Angel. We're going to be in Africa for quite a while. Africa is well represented. So settle in and be prepared to spend the next 20 minutes in Africa. This could not be anywhere other than Africa. Lovely, lovely image. I love the reflection of the zebra here as well. Perfectly captured. I love the composition. I would personally clone out this little rock at the bottom left, but that's nitpicking. I think it's really well captured. The other thing I would be tempted to do in post-processing is to, Lightroom has a new tool. You can isolate the background and work on that alone. It's my new favorite tool. I would do that, take the clarity out a little bit and up the whites and the contrast on the zebra himself to really make him pop. But there's no mistaking where we are. And it's a really well executed image, perfectly sharp, nicely composed. And this one I think is phenomenal. I've had spoilers, by the way, about which country this is. But when I first looked at this, I was assuming somewhere over the Sahara because of the red sand dunes. It's not Sahara. But what a great shot. The shadow here. Shadows can be distracting. This one really adds to it. It adds like a little bit more depth, contrast, and a bit more texture to these sand dunes. And this hot air balloon is perfectly positioned. The photographer was lucky enough or clever enough to get this at exactly the right moment. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. It so makes me want to be there. It does everything a travel photograph should do. It identifies the place, for sure, we're somewhere in Africa. And it also draws me in and makes me want to be a part of the image. I think it's lovely. I think the colors work well. Even the colors in the balloon here mirror the colors in the sand dunes there. I think it's wonderful. This one also, this is one of several photos in the challenge that needs the backup of the others in the set. On its own, I couldn't be sure. I might be thinking Grand Canyon. I'm not quite sure. It's the same country as the others. It's a lovely landscape shot, and it works well as a travel photo, but it needs to be in context. I think it's well captured. It's got to be a wide depth of field to get everything in focus, the right time of day as well. Again, the shadows work nicely. And I love this little point just there that draws the eye in on the horizon. And then that soft morning or evening light in the sky. And this one, a couple like this. Another one, I think, which would benefit from just having a bit more space at the bottom, just to get the bottom legs of the chair in. But it's an interesting shot. There are several photos in this challenge, and that you will see anyway, of dinner tables laid up or breakfast tables laid up with chairs waiting for somebody to sit in them. It's inviting, it's tempting. This is the only one with a background that makes you think, hang on, where are we? We're not in a restaurant. We're not in a tapas bar somewhere. We seem to be, I don't know, on the African plains. So I love the inclusion of the background, which sets the scene of exactly where we are. For me, the background, the tree here and the yellow plane here is more of a focus than the table itself. But really well done. I know where we are. That was Namibia. And thank you, Janet. Still in Africa, I think. I'm going to hazard a guess at the next four, and I think this is Morocco. If it's not Morocco, it's going to be Tunisia or Algeria, somewhere like that. It has to be. I can't think where else it would be. I love this shot. I love the chaos of this shot. I'm guessing it's early morning. The photographer has picked the right time of day to really capture what's going on in this particular town at this particular time of day. I love the chaos of the birds. It doesn't matter that they're out of focus or whatever. It captures the feeling of the place. The sea in the background. Some people would nitpick and say straighten the horizon. I'm not going to nitpick about that. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm more interested in the beautiful golden light catching this wall here in this, I think, morning light. And the little bit of action in the bottom right of the corner with the fisherman waiting for the catch. I think it's Morocco. If it is, if I'm right, this completely captures the chaos of Morocco in the early morning. This one I adore. I think this is wonderful. Not only as a travel photo, but just as a street photo anyway. I would, shame there's a little bit more height at the top to really finish capturing that arch and the tops of the head. But the focus anyway is on the fish. And I love the curved nature of the fish and how it mirrors this. It's a street photo. It works as a travel photo. If you look at the people in the background, they set the scene. They're not European. I still think we're in Morocco. It's an early morning, traveling somewhere, get up early, see what the locals do first thing in the morning kind of shot. It's beautifully executed. I like it very much. This is what really makes me think it's Morocco. It has to be. Surely it's Morocco. Sorry if I'm wrong and it's Tunisia or somewhere. The carpet market. I like the fact that they've got the photographer has the spire or the tower of the mosque in the background and the carpet market. I'm a little bit disappointed the photographer's not a bit closer to these people. And the woman there wearing the hijab. It's a shame we can't see all of the faces. If the photographer, and if you're going to try and do street photography like this in Morocco and Northern Africa, it's hard anyway, because they will cover their face when they see a camera. It's a cultural thing. If you can surreptitiously get behind them and try and get their faces in it, you can get some fantastic shots. But I think it captures the place well anyway. It bothers me a little bit how white the sky is. It's not the be all and end all of the shot. It works anyway. But I would kind of be tempted to get a little bit closer in just on the carpet sellers and even leave out a lot of that sky. But I do like the curve here, and I do like the way it very much sets the scene of where we are. And this one I think is gorgeous. Two of my favorite colors, turquoise green, turquoise blue. I'm still thinking we're probably in Morocco. I like the composition of this. I like the lead-in lines here. I like the fact that, suddenly you notice there are people, but they're silhouetted. And the main point of the shot is this gorgeous colored curved dome here, and then the blue in the background that offsets it. It's, what would you call it? Urban landscape, I guess. You can make it a little bit stronger by dropping down by cropping in a little bit, dropping the height down a little bit more. But I think it works really well as setting the fact that for sure we're in an Arabic country. It's probably North Africa. I think it's Morocco. Please confirm for us, Jose Luis, where was that?
Yeah, Morocco.
It was Morocco. You successfully completed the travel challenge, Jose Luis. You identified the place and made it look good. I like this. This is interesting. I love this little silver slither of river. It's not immediately obvious where we are. Doesn't need to be at this point. It's one of the photos that needs the others to back it up before you really know where you are. As a landscape shot, I think it works fantastically because of this little slither of river. And I love the clouds. You could almost, I'm not really big on post-processing, but occasionally it's got its place. You could almost enhance the blue a little bit more to make the clouds pop a bit more. But it's perfectly exposed. It shows the landscape wonderfully. I think we might still be in Morocco. What a great piece of street photography with all the different colors of the fruit and the guy there. Street photography, I'm a street photographer, so I'm biased, but I think it works really, really well as travel photography. This being an example. It's such a classic scene of this place. Selling all of the fruit, the prices of the fruit. It's not Harrods. Look, you've got rundown signage or whatever you want to call it, peeling off paint here on the right. The guy, he's kind of bored, but he hasn't quite given up yet. It's a lovely piece of street photography, and I love all the colors. The yellows, the reds, the yellows again, the reds, and him in the middle, nothing yellow or red about him. I think it's a lovely piece of street photography, which works really well as a piece of travel photography. These four, by the way, work together really well as a set. Okay, this is Chef Shawan. Gotta be. I can't think of anywhere else in the world that looks like that. So I'm sure we're in Morocco again. And the blue, if you've ever been to Chef Shawan, it's a beautiful city, and it is this shade of blue, this kind of like cornflower blue all over. Quite hard to capture in a photograph because you get blown highlights and shadows. This photographer has done it really, really well and not lost the exposure on the subject, which is this guy. Pity he's not looking right at the camera, but I mean, hey, we can all live in photo fantasy land, yes. Sometimes you don't get what you wish for. The tiles behind him also set the scene. It's street photography. It would not be out of place in a brochure about Morocco. And I like this. I like the fact the photographer has gone close up just on a door, a doorknob and a locker, and yet it still tells you something about where we are. You don't see this kind of thing in England or France or Belgium. It's obviously some Arabic country or some Asian country. The exposure is absolutely spot on. The composition is absolutely spot on. It wouldn't work on its own as a travel photo, but with the previous ones and as a set, you've got a really nice little glimpse into what I'm pretty sure is Morocco again. Am I right, Mijo? Really,
Yes.
I can't hear everything from the hotel, but no worries. Really good. Ah, okay.
Yes, Rachel, it's Morocco.
I think
That's-
Africa was
that's
well
good.
represented in the challenge and nicely as well.
Thank you very
When
much.
we get to the end of my favorites, I will show you what I've done. But I think well done, everyone so far. Right, the next four, I'm going to critique them differently. I'm not going to critique them as travel. So I'm just going to go through the four first. And back. And I'm going to tell you why I think they're not travel, but why I think they are excellent at something else. Why is it not travel? I love black and white. I mostly work in black and white. Travel is almost never in black and white, sadly. And why? It's because travel tries to bring to life a place. The colors, the smell, the culture, and you need color to do that. Black and white creates a different atmosphere, which doesn't quite work so well for travel. Also, you're trying to make the place in travel photography look appealing. And the empty coffee cup with the stains there, I'm not really feeling that I want to go to this place. And the same with the ashtray and the, I don't know. It's not working for me as travel. However, as a piece of social commentary and documentary and street photography, I think these are great. So forget travel for the next four. I'm going to critique them as monochrome social commentary. And I think they are fantastic at doing that. I don't know whether they were taken in the UK or at a bar somewhere else with a UK newspaper. Something about it is, I don't know, the black and white creates a mood. The empty coffee cup creates a mood. The dirty ashtray, and there's a British newspaper. It's giving a certain kind of, how can I say this politely? A depressing feeling. I'm not going to say it politely. A kind of depressing, hopeless feeling, but does it really well. And that one, even better angle. The same thing. The British newspaper, the empty coffee cup, the ashtray in the background, perfectly executed in black and white. If you wanted to tell a story about modern society, about, I don't know, politics today, about what it's like to sit in a bar and read the morning newspaper, these are the four photos which sum it up. That one I love. Look at the headline. I guess it's saying the lying, the witch, and the something. Maybe it's about J.K. Rowling. I don't know. It's not a headline that makes me want to go to this place. Like I said before, I don't exactly want to go to a place where the coffee cup is empty. Please give me coffee cups that are full. But as social commentary, really well done. And to capture the exposure on the spoon and still get the exposure right on the white of the paper and the white of the cup takes some doing. What a fantastic black and white photo. And the same with this one. That little glimpse of the headline, that little shaft of light lighting up the half full coffee cup. The ashtray is still there. So, Alfred, I'm going to say you missed it with travel photography, but you absolutely nailed it with social commentary and black and white.
Thank you very much, Rachel.
Toofy bar.
I was wondering, I was thinking, I knew who it was. I didn't want to give away who it was. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Troofy or it's going to be one of the other ones in Mahakaplaya. Really,
No,
really nice. Yeah, really nice social commentary. Doesn't do it for travel.
It's a bit of a dive, but I love it. I go there almost every day.
I love Troofy. I haven't been to Trufi for several years because obviously I no longer live there, but Trufi was one of my favorites. I think you've totally captured the dive aspect. Not necessarily going to like draw tourists into Trufi from it, but maybe use the photos for a different challenge, something about monochrome or social commentary. Maybe we'll have a photojournalism challenge. They'd work really well for that. Still in Europe, and this could not be anywhere apart from Europe. It's such a typical European square or triangle in this case. And nicely captured. I like the angle. I like this figure here on the right, going about his or her daily business, and the man just in front of her there. I don't know if you can see where the cursor is, and the little tables just behind him on the bottom right here. I wish we could see a little bit more of that. It's a nice European square. The architecture completely sets the scene. I like the zebra crossings. I kind of wish there were no cars, but you can't do much about that. You can't exactly knock on doors and say to people, hey, I'm taking a photo for a challenge, move your car. You have to work with it. But I like the lighting on it. I like the fact that you've caught the square. I wish there was a little bit more European action in it, but there is in future ones. This one, I like how the photographer has done this and kind of divided it into two. I like the action in the background. By the way, I'm guessing that we're in France or Switzerland or somewhere like that. And this really sums it up. I like the little bit of action. I like the fact it's very much a European cafe. I've been looking at this one for a while I was preparing the critique and thinking, do I like the empty chairs or not like the empty chairs? Part of me thinks, no, I want to see typical European people in those chairs having their breakfast. And the other part of me thinks, no, I quite like that they're empty, waiting for me to fill them. So I'm kind of like on the fence about that. In terms of capturing a European, and I think French or Swiss cafe, it's done it really nicely. And again, a nice use of the colors. The blue there of the sugars, reflected in the chairs, reflected in the turquoise there with the action in the background. It works well as street or urban photography. I think it works as travel photography, but I kind of want to see some French guy sitting in this chair. This one I love. I think this one just captures Europe perfectly. I'm a little bit bothered about the fact we can't see all of the croissant at the bottom, but I'm going to bore you if I talk about all the things we can't see in the photos. So let's get over that. Typical continental breakfast. You've got everything. You've got the jam, you've got the orange juice, the croissant, the pretty blue thing with the sugars, and somebody in the background, European, so perfectly manicured nails, and just sets the scene. You don't even need, like the one of Mark's, where you only see the foot of the guy in America. For this, you can only see the hands and a little bit of the breakfast table, but it tells you we're in Europe. It's food photography. It works really well as setting the scene in Europe, and it really makes me hungry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning here. I haven't had breakfast yet. This makes me hungry. I want to be there. And obviously needs no introduction. It's a really nicely composed shot. The only thing I find a little bit disappointing, but I sympathize, is that it was taken in the winter, so the trees are bare. I like the fact that the bareness of the branches and the bareness of the trees complements the unlit Eiffel Tower and all of the angles. As a travel photo, you wouldn't really want to have bare branches. You would want blossoms on them, but you have to work with what you've got. I went to Japan last year in February, and I have photos of Mount Fuji that are half covered in fog and there's no cherry blossoms. So sometimes you just have to work with what you've got. The composition is exactly right. Little bit of a shame there's no greenness, but obviously France. Well done, Eileen. I'm not sure where this was taken. Are we still in France or have we gone somewhere else? Beautiful, beautiful shot. I've been looking at this over the last week and trying to decide whether or not this column on the left annoys me or not. And sometimes I think, yes, we don't want that column on the left. Other times I think, no, that helps with the depth of field. I've decided no, better without it, because the colors in the sky, the fact that the Eiffel Tower is hazy in the background, but is still the focus of the shot, and then this beautifully exposed statue in the foreground, it's so French. It's up to the individual. Personally, I wouldn't have the pillar, but it took me a long time to decide that. I can see why some people would want it there. I like the shot anyway. Even little things like the street lights here, it's obviously Europe. We're not in America anymore. And in the background there, the towers, but most of all, this beautiful, beautiful sky, taken at exactly the right time of day. And this iconic, I mean, you'll see what I've done at the end. You can't have Europe without the Eiffel Tower. And I think this is a beautifully composed shot of it. Another one that made me sit there thinking, travel photography, not sure, a bit abstract, a bit blurred, don't know. Finally, I decided, yes, but it needs to be in context. You couldn't put this photo in a travel brochure on its own. It would need to be very much in the context of Paris, in the context of France, and then it works. France paintings, my art history, forgive me, Frank, is not that great. I think it's Monet. I might be wrong. It's Impressionist. I like the way that the subjects in the foreground are blurred. I like the way that the focus is still on the painting. It works nicely as a nicely composed kind of fine art abstract shot. Works as travel only if it's backed up with the other shots of Paris around it. This one, I have one thing to nitpick here. Oh, sorry, gone too far. Frank, please clone out that phone. Please, anybody, don't have mobile phones in the shot. They look awful. It would be so much better if it was his, I don't know, a book or a cigarette holder or nothing at all. Other than that, what a great shot. I love the arch here. And I love him as a subject. He's so Parisian. She's kind of Parisian, but the focus is on him anyway. You could put this in a blog about Paris, in an online like brochure about Paris. It would work. It sums it up. You've got the art here. You've got this lovely arch. You've got the Parisian looking guy who's thinking very deeply about politics or philosophy or life or something, but please get rid of that mobile phone. But a nice shot. I like it. And finally, I mean, there we go. What more do I need to say? It's Paris. It's a beautifully executed shot. I love it. Nicely done. Well done, Frank. I'm not sure where in Europe. I'm going to guess Germany, Slovakia, Central Europe by now, but it doesn't get much more European than this. This is absolutely stunning. What a gorgeous shot. The building here, the mountains in the background, the reflection, it screams Europe. It's just a classic travel photograph. I love it so much. The exposure is correct. Everything about this is correct. And this would not be out of place on a travel poster advertising Europe. This one is, again, another one that I'm not so sure about. It's not a bad photo. Is it travel? I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm guessing these photos are all in the same place. So I'm guessing it's Europe, but it could equally be the Seychelles or Hawaii. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure how you could put it more into the context of where it is. I would kind of be tempted to leave it out completely and stick with more of this kind of thing, which sets the scene. It's not a bad photo. It's composed nicely, but doesn't quite grab me as a travel photo. This one, on the other hand, does. Again, we couldn't be anywhere unless we're in Middle Earth. It's obviously Europe. I feel it's a little bit over sharpened or a little bit HDR'd. But giving that one a pass, I love the yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. I love the composition. I love the fact the eye is drawn to this fairy tale European castles. And the curve again of the road here leading in from that side of the photo and the mountains in the background. It's so European and it's such a beautiful landscape plus photograph. Really nicely done. And for sure, we're in Europe. We have to be. There's truffles. Photographing food, like photographing people, is another really good way of really setting the scene of where you are. And truffles and little candies and chocolates do it perfectly. I'm not sure exactly where we are. Hopefully, Jean will tell us in a minute. But I'm guessing, I don't know, my kind of guess is like Switzerland, Austria. Where are we, Jean?
Switzerland.
There we go.
Switzerland, yes.
Really nice. And needs no introduction. I know exactly where I am, even though I've never physically been there. We're in Venice and Grand Canal, I'm assuming. What an absolutely beautiful travel photo. The light on this is fantastic. This photographer is a very good photographer anyway, so I'm not surprised that she's captured this so well. It looks almost like there's about to be a storm, but the light on the canal here, that kind of like deep turquoise, the bright white of the boat in exactly the right place to draw the eye, with the bright white of the dome here mirroring it. It's an absolutely stunning shot. It's a stunning travel photo. It would stand on its own as a travel photo, but as a urban landscape photo works really well as well. I think it's beautiful. This one, we're still in Venice. If I didn't know from the first shot that we were in Venice, and if I didn't know that this is the place in Venice where they moor the boats, I wouldn't be sure where this was. It's a lovely photo. It's got a kind of ethereal, not quite abstract, but almost feeling to it. Beautifully exposed, beautifully executed. Not quite sure if it's travel. Taken out of context, I would be looking at this and thinking, I don't know, Venice, Thailand, somewhere else. I wouldn't be quite sure. Possibly the only thing that would give it away as Europe is the street lamp. I know it's Venice because it's a famous port. I would be more tempted if you're doing travel to include the classic shot of the gondolas moored here. You can be obvious with travel photography. We will all forgive you. It's a nice shot anyway. And this one I think is fantastic. The iconic gondolas of Venice, and the photographer was lucky enough to get a gondola just like this in a black and white striped t-shirt, really popping from the photograph, with the light on the oar really popping as well, and the other gondola in exactly the right place. You don't get that lucky very often. And then all these beautiful European buildings in the background. I think it sums up Europe perfectly. It's a beautiful shot of Venice. It's a beautiful travel shot. It's a beautiful street shot, whatever else you want to call it. I think it really does its job well. And this one, and no disrespect to the lady, lets the whole set down a little bit, I think. I've never been to Venice. Is it the Rialto Bridge or the Bridge of Sighs? I don't know. For me, the problem here is it looks like a tourist snapshot. I'm sure she's very lovely and had a lovely time. Maybe she is local and lives there, but it does look a little bit like everyone's holiday photo. So that's the only one for me that lets it down a little bit. Other than that, amazing set. Well done, Marlene. Another four where I'm going to go through the four first. I've put these with Europe because looking at, if you look very closely in the background, I'm pretty sure they're taken in Spain. But that's not the most obvious thing. Oh, sorry, Marlene. For me, it's not travel because I don't know where I'm looking at. and I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. I know that this photographer wanted to show a different side of travel and travel like in a dream. It does that really well. It couldn't go in a travel brochure, however, because I'm not really sure what the point of it is as a travel photo. So to critique them as an abstract or light trails, I think works very well. I love the colors. I like with this one that you can just see in the background where it might be. I like the dreamlike quality. And I love the colors of this one in particular. But if you take it out of context, for example, this one, if you try to guess where you are, you can't tell. Am I in Asia, Europe? I don't know. Am I looking at a building? I don't know. They're beautiful abstract shots. For me, they don't work as travel because they need to be a little bit more obvious. But for an abstract challenge, a color challenge, anything like that, they would work well. As travel, sadly not. Sorry, Pedro. Still in Europe. And from the person who expressed reservations about a travel challenge, saying that they weren't sure their photos were travel. And I said during the presentation, I beg to disagree. It does not get much more travel than this. This is iconic. I'm going to give it away. We're in Iceland. If you think about Iceland, the first thing you think about is the aurora. This person is a fantastic aurora photographer, and they have captured it absolutely perfectly here, complete with all the stars. If I want to go to Iceland, if I Google Iceland, if I pick up literature about Iceland, I want to see something like this. This is the reason I'm going to Iceland. It's absolutely iconic of it and a wonderful travel shot, as well as being weather, landscape, and everything else. This one's interesting. This one might not be in a travel brochure. It's still obviously ice far north. It sets the place really well. Incredibly well exposed. I aspire to be as good with my camera as this person. The geyser here with this beautiful, I don't know if it's sunrise, sunset, whether it's an erupting volcano or what in the background, but it's absolutely beautiful. We're still obviously in the far north. If you don't know it's Iceland, you're going to guess, I don't know, Lapland, Alaska. You're obviously not in Costa Rica, for example. So the place is captured really well. And again, this one, similar to the first. My only criticism with these four, and they are four excellent photos, is if you're going to do a travel set about Iceland, the aurora or this maybe only needs to be one or two. Can you maybe get some of the Icelandic buildings or something of the city of Reykjavik, which is different from the south of Europe? But again, that's nitpicking. I think if you're going to do a set of travel photos about the nature of Iceland, then I think these four absolutely nail it, especially this one. And in case you didn't know who that was Trevor. Ah. On to another one that I really, really hope I have in the right place. I'm using this next set to kind of bridge Europe into Asia, and I really hope I've got the country right. And big apologies to the photographer if I'm wrong. This, wow, I have never seen anything like this. When I opened this photo for the first time last week, I thought, where is that? I've never even seen that. Is it a model? Is it a Lego village? Is it real? It's like Hobbiton. It's like something from Lord of the Rings. It's a stunning photo. Look at that. And the photographer has used a wide enough depth of field to get everything in focus. And it's one of these photos. I love photos where you can zoom in and explore every little bit of it. And this is one of them. You can zoom into any part of the photo and see all the tiny little details. But I had no idea where we were. And this didn't help much. Now I'm thinking, are we back in Iceland? But no, that's not Iceland. Where is this? Another photo that works well as a travel photo. It definitely makes me want to be there. And it's nicely captured. I don't know whether you would call it Landscape Plus or I don't know what you would call it, but it's nicely done. And I like the angle as well with the view down over the valley. Then I got to this one and now I'm even more confused because now I'm thinking, well, that's like Roman ruins. We have those in Andalusia, or maybe it's Greek. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I think we're kind of in Greece, Turkey kind of area. Like maybe that could be somewhere in Greece or Turkey. Maybe we're crossing over a little bit into Lebanon or one of the stands. This is a lovely shot of ruins. I love the way that the photographer has used the ruins as lead-in lines to this fort in the background. Doesn't matter to me at all that the fort is bang center. I think it absolutely works because of these lead-in lines using these ruins here. And again, you're lucky to have a nice sky with some nice clouds, perfectly exposed, perfect depth of field, really nice landscape, I guess, shot. Where are we? This one, similar to the girl on the bridge in Venice, lets the set down a little bit for me. It's more of a holiday snap shot. I'm sure they're all having a lovely time, but I'm not really sure what they're looking at, and I'm not really sure how they fit into where they are, other than they're tourists. My guess, and I can't wait to find out where it is, I'm going to guess Turkey. I don't know whether I'm right or not. Can Austri confirm or not? Is it Turkey?
Yes, Turkey.
Perfect. In that case, Austri, my advice would be to leave this one out completely and finish the set with something more Turkey, whether it's another monument, some food, a bazaar, something like that. But don't worry about photographing the tourists. You've got 3 really strong shots. Round it out with something that just puts a full stop on it. This is Turkey, like maybe the food. Okay, so we've bridged now over into Asia. We're almost at the end of our journey. And the photo that I have agonized the most about this week, about is it travel, isn't it travel? And I've gone back and forth and looked at this one so many times. When I first looked at it, my first thought was, ooh, not travel. Because you want to avoid images that are kind of controversial or that show things like poverty or don't make the place look appealing. And that was the first thing that jumped out at me. And then I thought, well, why not? All that's wrong is she's like blind. So then I had a big ethical debate about myself, about, oh, no, is it wrong to show a disabled person as and went all over the place with it. Finally, I decided, no, it's not travel. It appeals to me as a street photographer. It really makes me want to go to this place. But to your average person booking their holiday, it might not. So I've come down on the side of, no, it's not travel photography. However, as a piece of street photography, which is what I'm going to critique it as, I think it's absolutely fantastic. My only niggle being allow a little bit more room on the left for her hand to move into. She's cropped a bit too tightly on the left. Also, I would desaturate the green behind her here. Desaturate the green and she really pops. And the colors in her trousers here are fantastic. Her skin tone, her hair. It's a wonderful street photograph. I love it. So yeah, as travel, I'm going to say not yet, maybe in the future. As street photography, absolutely nailed it. Just widen the frame a little bit. Another set where I'm curious to find out where they are. This is fun. I like this. I like all the yellows in this shot, and it's a happy shot. When I first looked at it, the first thing I thought was, Oh, it's a shame he hasn't got the children's faces. What a shame he's not outside the train looking at the children's faces, but that is to come. But for this, it's nicely composed. It's fun. It's obviously not the Renfe. We're obviously in Asia. If not from the train, then from the people themselves. It's a nice, fun shot. Oh, if only we could see the children's faces. Then I saw this. This, I think, is absolutely fantastic. It's so obviously Asia. And I don't know whether the train was moving at this point or whether it was at a standstill. I'm guessing the photographer was leaning out the window to get the shot. But what a difficult shot to get both faces perfectly in focus without camera shake while leaning out of a window and get everything perfectly exposed, and also capture this kind of curiosity and anticipation. For me, when I critiqued the transport challenge a year ago, there was a photo of Dave Hornsey's of a train, and this reminded me of it, of a train somewhere like India with all of the locals hanging out the window. It's so Asian. This is a fantastic example of it. I love this shot. And also this one, it's a happy shot. I like the street photo of the blind lady in the first one. This one works more as travel photography because it's happy, it's welcoming, it's friendly. It's a really nice street shot, really well composed with the three children. I love the color of the background. It's not distracting, it just works really well. They're obviously having fun. The photographer obviously has their attention, and I think it works really nicely. And I want to know where this is. My gut feeling is Cambodia. If it's not Cambodia, it's got to be Vietnam or Thailand or Laos or one of those. Where is it, Andy?
The last one was Vietnam, and the first three were Thailand.
Oh, okay. So all Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
So hang on. So Thailand.
That was in Bangkok.
Yeah, it's a great street photo, Andy. Doesn't quite hit it for travel, but a great street photo. So also Thailand.
Yeah, that's on the train to the river, the bridge on the River Kwai.
Okay. And the same kids, yeah, but this time looking out the window. Yeah, really nice. And that one's Vietnam.
I can't remember where that one was in Vietnam. We were on a motorbike ride, and it was somewhere in a little village in a jungle, somewhere near Laos, somewhere.
I think you've captured Southeast Asia really well with all of them. Lovely set. You cannot photograph Asia without having food in it somewhere. And I'm looking forward to my breakfast. It's getting on towards 4 a.m. here, and I would like to eat some of those. What a fantastic photo of street food with just enough of the face in the frame on the right here to give some sense of the people involved, but mostly the focus on this amazing looking. I think I know. I'm not going to give away where I think these photos were taken, so I'm not going to give away what I think the food is, but what a great street food shot. And likewise, this one. Like the one on the train, I'm a little bit disappointed we can't see the face of the lady, but it's not the end of the world because the focus is the baskets on the head. And I love this guy, this little guy here. I love his face. And the continuation of the food in the background. We're so obviously in Asia. We can't be anywhere else. I like the lanterns behind. It's a great street shot. It works really well as a travel photograph. I'm pretty sure I've never been there, but I think we're in India. And what a lovely architecture photograph. And again, I love the reflections. I like how a few people have used reflections in these photos. They work really well. And also the time of day that they're taken to light up the buildings and the subject perfectly. I like the way that immediately the first thing you look at is the gold building here, but then your eye is drawn into this whiter dome here. Then you see the reflections. I'm guessing this is India. I can't think of anywhere else in East Asia or South Asia that has this ornate of a building. And again, a beautiful shot this time with the moon rising or setting, but just lighting up these buildings in this beautiful pinky gold shade with just enough of the surroundings to take us out of the city and put it in a wider context. I might do it as a letterbox and lessen the sky a little bit, or crop it down a little bit more from the top, but you don't need to. It works fine anyway. I think it's beautiful. I'm guessing India. Was it India, Brian?
Yeah.
Nicely captured. And it's China. No, it's not China. It's somewhere near China. If it's not China, it's got to be Japan or South Korea or one of those, right? It doesn't work better than this to set your photo in context. It cannot be anywhere other than East Asia. It's the Orient. If it's not China, it's South Korea or somewhere like that. And I love photos. There are many photos like this looking up at the lanterns, and they always work really well. It's difficult to get the exposure right on them without having any blown highlights. I have a few photos like this where I've missed the exposure. This one works really well. Depth of field exactly right as well. Works really nicely. I'm pretty sure we're in China. Let's see what happens next. Okay, that's not China, but it's still Asia. I've had spoilers on this set as well. Apparently right before this, the people on the platform were letting off the lanterns with the candles in the lanterns like they do. That, I think, would have made a better travel photo, but the photographer had to choose between that shot and this shot and chose this one, which I still think works really well. You would see it in a travel blog. You'd see the lanterns more, but this one wouldn't be out of place. It gives a feeling of the bustle and the movement of East Asia. I like that. I love the colors on the back of the train. I'm not even going to complain about the mobile phones here because they're serving a purpose in this shot. So I'll let you get away with that one. This one just screams Asia from the rooftops. What a beautiful building. I've spent a few days over the last week zooming in on this and just looking at all the amazing architecture. I still wasn't sure until I had the spoilers of where we were. I was still thinking, oh, if it's China, maybe it's South Korea. Turns out it's somewhere else. But absolutely iconic of East Asia and the former Orient and that beautiful imperial architecture. And very difficult to get a building like this lit up and to get the exposure spot on. So absolutely beautiful. And this one, which didn't give it away for me because I haven't been to the place, but gives it away for some people, is designed apparently in the shape of the old takeaway containers, the like Chinese food. It's not China, but of the takeaway containers that you used to get the noodles in. And one of the most iconic buildings in this place. Again, difficult to expose this, and the photographer has done it. Anyone know where this country is without the photographer telling you? Deathly silence. Tell them, Dave.
Taiwan. So that building is
Taiwan. And we're almost at the end. I knew where this was, but I haven't been there, but I've seen so many photos of it. It's famous. It's Singapore. And those beautiful lights in is it the river park or the ocean park, wherever it is in Singapore. Again, a difficult thing to capture at night and exposed really well. And with the walkway there and the iconic building, I don't know the name of it, I'm sorry. I just know it's Singapore in the background. I think gives a really nice contrast to what we saw earlier with Asia, with the street kids and the trains and even Dave Hornsey's shots. This is the modern side of Asia. This is the money. This is the glamorous side. This is Singapore. And they're all of the same park. I like the colors on that one. I prefer the first one because I think it's exposed and composed better. But I do. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. These are Dave's. I do like the purple colors on that one. This one I really like. That's like wider frame, and I like the purple there, but the blue there, and again the walkway and the building in the background. Such a different side of Asia to the lady with the one eye. And looking down the river, I'm slightly disappointed. I usually wouldn't niggle about focus, but I am slightly disappointed this one isn't pin sharp. I think it would gain something if the building, the wheel, and the lights were completely pin sharp. I get why they're not, and usually I wouldn't complain. On this occasion, I think it would be better if they were all perfectly in focus. But I think it's a lovely way to round off our around the world trip. So thank you, Dave. And that is it. I do have my favorites. I don't know if you want me to do them now or after the break.
I suggest, so thank you, Rachel. First off, we're just astonished at the amount of energy you have at ridiculous o'clock in the morning over in Costa Rica.
Have I sent everyone to sleep?
Thank you for...
I can't hear anyone. Has everyone just given up and gone home?
Not at all. Some great pictures and a great critique. So thank you very much. My suggestion is have a break now.
Okay. Yeah, can we? Because with the favorites, I've done something a bit different. And I would like to just say a few words to round out the challenge. Hopefully people have enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, right. So why don't we do favorites now, and then we can let you go and get some breakfast or some sleep or whatever. And then we'll break.
I'm happy to hang around for the second part of the meeting. That's fine. I would be interested to hear people's comments on their photos.
Okay, so we'll break now. It is 20 to 12 here in Spain. So 12 o'clock we'll resume. So a very quick coffee, and then we're back. Okay?
Okay. See you soon.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Yes.
Yes. So people are assembling, so hopefully we're on again in a few minutes.
Okay.
So can I ask you to do a few minutes on your favourites?
Yeah.
Yes,
I've done
and
my favourites a bit differently, but I'll show you when everyone is back.
Okay, so not too long on that because we're going to get kicked out of this room by 1 o'clock Spanish time, and we want to give people time to talk about their own pictures.
Sorry, did I go on for too long? Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's all good. I'm just trying to explain. So you do a screen share for your favorites and then stop sharing, and I will do the projection from this laptop for people to talk about their own pictures, because we lose some picture quality with it coming over Google Meet.
Okay.
So we'll get better picture quality if I project from here.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, we have about three-quarters of an
We got no more. Right. So by 1:45, we need to be done and dusted. And we'd like to give people an opportunity to talk about their own pictures.
I can get through the favorites in 2 minutes.
Well, 2,
maybe 3.
Maybe 3, maybe 4. Okay. So
no more than 5.
Thank you. Yeah. Jeff, could you do the lights, please? Thank you very much. And over to you again then, Rachel.
Okay, sorry if I took too long with that. With the favourites, I've done my favourites a little bit differently. I haven't pulled out individual favourites. What I've done is taken the 4 images from each continent, which I think work well together as a set to bring that continent to life. So I'm going to share. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, it's not coming up again. Give me a moment. I promise this won't take more than 5 minutes. Okay, you seeing this? Can you see this?
Yes, we are, Rachel. That's great. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. So this is America's north and south put together, with Richard's amazing shot of Bryce Canyon with the sunburst over the fantastic canyon. Also the beaches of the Bahamas, this iconic shot of Mark's of the blue jeans and the cowboy boots and the spur. And then in the middle of it, the llama, the alpaca from South America, all of which I think work really well to bring the American continent to life. I think Africa looks really good. Africa has Angel's camels, which are iconic of Northern Africa and Northern Sahara. The chaos of Morocco from Jose Luis. This beautiful shot of the balloon over the plains of Namibia from Janet. And of course, Africa's iconic wildlife, the zebra, also from Janet. And I think working together as a set, those 4 photographs exemplify Africa. Here's Europe, from the iconic gondolas of Venice to the continental breakfast, which I really wish was waiting for me right now. Of course, the Eiffel Tower lit up in all its glory, and Jean's shot there, which couldn't get more European with the mountains in the background.
Okay.
And finally, Asia. You can't do Asia without food. Food is such an important part of Asian culture. It has to be there. And that beautiful shot of the local children looking out the train from Andy. Don't get much more Asian than that. Dave Hornsey's fantastic shot of the old imperial architecture there on the building in Taiwan. And then the modern architecture of Singapore there from Dave. So that's how I did my favorites. I think generally as a club, I think we did really well at capturing pretty much the entire world. It surprised me that there weren't more from Spain. I know the committee were worried about the challenge because they thought, oh, not everybody goes on exotic holidays. And I was expecting to be critiquing many sets from Oaxaca. But as it turned out, it was exactly the opposite. And I think as a club, we did a really, really good job of capturing the entire world. Somebody has to go to Australia before the next one, maybe me, and photograph that. But I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you, committee, for finally doing a travel challenge. And I think all of the images were great. I really enjoyed critiquing it, and I really enjoyed looking through them. And I think the challenge has worked really well.
So, Rachel, thank you very much for doing a great critique. Really appreciated what you've done, and I know the work that goes into the prep, so thank you from all of us.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah. Right. So then for the next bit, we have a half an hour or so. I think it'd be useful to put up people's pictures and then to give people an opportunity to talk about their pictures. So let me do the screen sharing.
You should be so that the people in the room and the people online,
Well,
rather than people who are absent.
yes. We'll just see what we can do. Google Meet is annoying. already. There we go. So the first set is Alf's. Is there a microphone? And do you want to say anything about your pictures, Alf?
Yes.
I was a bit skeptical about submitting these pictures because they're not really travel pictures. Frank mentioned during the break while we were having coffee that they're although they're not travel images, they are travel images of the mind. And I thought, oh, that's a very sweet comment, Frank. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was skeptical of submitting them, and then I thought, well, I don't do travel. I'm not interested in travel, but I do travel from my house to the Trophy Bar almost every day. So, you know, I thought I'd submit these, and they seem to have caused a lot of conversations anyway. Thank you.
Thanks, Alf. Yeah, and this is my favourite of your pictures.
Yeah, they're good pictures.
Yeah. Andy, is this you?
This is me, yes.
Yeah. So, what would you like to say about your pics?
Well, I couldn't help taking a picture of this old lady in Bangkok. I think it's it shows like the other side of Bangkok that maybe a lot of people don't see. Bit sad, but this one, I like the fact that you can't see their faces because they're talking to each other and looking out the window of what's outside.
Yeah.
And then they very nicely leaned out the window for me.
It's the same two kids, is it?
Same two kids, yeah, on the same, yeah.
Fantastic. Well spotted. Well managed.
And as I said earlier, I can't remember where this was. It was in Vietnam somewhere or other in the jungle. No idea. But they posed quite nicely.
Very lovely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I can't remember whose pictures.
Angel.
Angel? Angel, do you want to say anything about your pictures? Don't. Yeah. I think just a note for people, please, when you're submitting pictures, think about the overall number of pixels in there. It does help to be able to fill the screen without having to zoom in.
Yeah, sorry about that because I was very busy the past couple of months, and I thought Egypt was a good place to show. But I think yes, this one of the camels is the best one, and so thank you, Rachel, for your critique.
Thank you, Angel, for the pictures.
And Turkey. Austria. Good pictures.
Una foto de mi viaje a Turquía y eso es espectacular. Es unos miradores que hay y hay casas, está lleno de casas que vive todavía la gente. Y eso, no me acuerdo cómo se llama el valle. Es un valle muy bonito y la última foto mía eran 80 globos que se veía al amanecer y esa no me la han puesto, pero bueno, está bonito. Y esto es el agua salada que sale en las ruinas, es que yo no me acuerdo de los sitios. Eso está junto al otro. Esto es un castillo y las ruinas es que no me acuerdo cómo se llama. Pero es espectacular todo esto, nada más. Y estos son unos turistas chinos viendo el mapa de Turquía.
Gracias.
He was explaining about the first one was people they are still living there in the houses and the rocks. and he doesn't remember the name of the places. Yeah, but anyway, in Turkey.
Sorry, it says Cappadocia.
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 Cappadocia. No? Yeah, yes.
Okay. Dave Rounce? No. Brian.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. This is Northwest India, Punjab, Rajasthan. That one, I think, was the market in Amritsar. Amritsar, which is, and the following photograph as well. Yes, you made a comment, pity they're not facing the camera, but of course, most of the time they don't want to. And you know, when you got that weight on your head, to turn around suddenly is a bit difficult. That is the Golden Temple in Amritsar, Punjab. It is the most religious. It's one of the oldest Sikh temples and is the center of Sikhism. And then we're down at Udaipur in Rajasthan, and you might recognize a white building bottom right, because that was in Octopussy, the James Bond film.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. Yes. So these are mine. As Rachel said, this is Taiwan. So they like to think themselves as being not China. The Chinese people seem to think differently, but the culture is a mix of Chinese and Japanese, and so you get all of the Chinese culture, but the people are smiley, friendly, happy, only too willing to help you, like the Japanese would be. So we just love it, and I have family out in Taiwan. So this is just a little mad little town in the middle of nowhere, where people come and they light sky lanterns, as Rachel was saying. The composition with the sky lanterns was much harder to get because it's just chaos. And so with the order with the train coming through, I chose this. This is Longshan Temple in Taipei. This is perhaps the most famous temple, Taoist temple, whatever it is, in Taipei. And it was quite a lot busier than you see from the picture, and so I've had to do quite a lot in Photoshop to remove people, and it's done a pretty good job for me. And I talked about Taipei 101 before. It's iconic building in Taipei. Dave Roundtree, you with us?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, these are the gardens in Singapore. You need at least 2 days to go around during the day and the night, because all the colours are changing all the time. And it's just an amazing place to go. That's about all I can say, really. And that's the hotel in the background with the swimming pool on the top. Yeah.
Did you stay in that hotel, Dave?
No, I did
Yeah.
go. And there's a big shopping centre underneath where the wife liked.
Did you at least buy some shoes
Shoes?
or
No.
anything from the shopping centre?
No, I didn't.
You had to go back?
But we spent 3 days in Singapore travelling, and it's an amazing place.
It's a great place.
If I ever went back again, I'd definitely go back to the gardens. It's really
It looks
nice.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Aileen, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Excellent, Aileen. Tell us about your pictures, please.
Yes, I would just say that I do love Paris. I've been there many, many times, and this is from the 15th arrondissement, and we've been there many times, and I do love the view of this little square, and from the little cafe that where we used to go and have a breakfast, and if you can take the photos or no, maybe you don't go through the photos, doesn't matter. Yeah, so and I found that it was like it gave an atmosphere with the mirrors and the people at the bar, and I can understand that you missed the people sitting in the chairs, Rachel, but still I thought that it was maybe enough with the people in the mirrors. And when it came to the breakfast, I'm really happy that you were tempted with that one.
It's making me even hungrier now, Eileen.
And I mean, of course, the baguette is the very French symbol, our symbol of France, but also the croissant, I think so. And when it comes to the Eiffel Tower, I don't know how many photos I have of the Eiffel Tower. This was taken in February, and of course, but as you know, I do like nature and plants and trees, and I thought that it was nice to see the Eiffel Tower through the trees without leaves.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for your comments. Very
No, it
interesting.
really works. Just for travel, you would want it to have some leaves, but for photography, it works really well as it is.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I understand that people like more green. That's true. Thank you so much. It was very interesting to listen to your comments.
Thank you, Eileen. Also in Paris.
Yes, I'm going to have to disappoint you here very much, Rachel, because it's the first time I actually tried sky replacement because it was a very boring gray sky.
Kick him out, somebody. Kick him out. Seriously. Well, you've done it very well, Frank.
Well, it was very interesting to try, and I think it's an interesting view, but anyway. And I really wanted to have a photograph of a museum in there, because for me, Paris is visit the museums. There are so many fantastic places there. And I wanted to have the movement of the people because it's pleasant. So I chose this one because the other ones really didn't work for me. But
have you photoshopped some of the people into here?
no, but I've selected the people there and blurred them with motion blur, so that the focus is on the beautiful Monet painting, which is the orangerie where they're all around you, which is a lovely place to go. And a typical Art Nouveau type bar, yeah, I think that says Paris for me. So, and the Eiffel Tower, very funny.
Thank you, Frank. Janet?
So as you know, we went to Namibia recently, and the wildlife was just amazing. And I just love, I love reflections, and zebra just lends itself to that. We did get up early to go on a balloon ride, and fortunately there was 2 balloons went up at the same time, so we could take pictures of the other balloon while we were in the air, and we got some amazing pictures.
Janet, did you take the photo from another balloon?
Yes.
That makes it even better.
And this, I can see why you thought it was the Grand Canyon, but it's actually Fish River Canyon, right in the south of Namibia. And is it bigger than the Grand Canyon, or is it the second biggest?
Fish River Canyon is the second biggest canyon in the world.
Yeah, which we'd never heard of before we went to Namibia, but it's just absolutely stunning. And this is probably sunrise.
This is sunrise, and Janet spent about 5 minutes pacing to and fro to get the peak in the background and
well done, Janet,
in the mid-range in line. Yeah,
it was
With
worth
delayed
it.
breakfast.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted a scene with food in it, and you know, the scenery, and just sat here having breakfast was just gorgeous. So
yeah,
I'm kind of jealous of lots of these photos.
Jean?
Yes, okay. This is Lake Brienz in the Bernese Oberland in Switzerland, one of my favorite parts of Switzerland. I like it because it tells you if you go to Switzerland, you've got the lakes, you've got the mountains, and you've got these magnificent hotels where you can stay. So that would persuade me to go there, I thought. That I put in because Switzerland, you normally get skiers, and Switzerland is a place where everybody's sporty, apparently. It's for young people, and you can even play golf in the mountains. I know it didn't seem to fit, but that's why I put it in. And there was a paraglider in the back. This is one of the chateaus. They grow a lot of wine in Switzerland, believe it or not. And it was just a sort of late summer, more autumny type shot, and I just love the colours. And I agree, it's over-sharpened. I can see it here now. My fault. And the last one, well, Switzerland wouldn't be Switzerland without chocolate. So there you are. Okay.
Thank you. Right. So, yeah, just love fish markets. They're always great. It really sets the scene well. Mm.
This is Morocco.
Right.
I think it's that place as well.
I bow to you experts.
I've been there.
Very good. Thank you, Jose Luis. Mark.
Thank you. This set is all shot in Hawaii. This was part of I was on a travel assignment doing behind the scenes photography to go in the book. So my brief was to cover my shots in the style of a travel log, most definitely not brochure. So consequently, I've gone for detail close-ups. This is the taking down of the flag in.
Oh wow! I saw that and I thought the one with the spurs. I was thinking like Montana, Wyoming cowboys.
No, that was the lovely surprise that it never occurred to me there would be cowboys in Hawaii. And yeah, they are the replica of anything you would find in the States. So that was that was very much my cowboy picture.
I second Rachel's view that you've captured an entire country in 1 foot. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's so much fun.
Yeah, an American tourist in a Hawaii hotel. They don't come more obvious than that.
I aspire to be that when I'm older.
Yeah. And this was, we were due to dive on the wrecks of Pearl Harbor, but the mission was withdrawn at the very last minute. But we did get to meet some amazing characters, and this guy had been there when the Arizona was sunk.
Wow!
So it was a very special moment to meet him, because it was something that he was very emotionally attached to, and would quite happily, not happily, but he was quite content to talk and discuss with us what happened on that attack.
It's definitely travel photography, but a very niche kind, like you would find if you went to Gallipoli or something like that.
Yes, I think that was, but it was an amazing assignment.
For sure.
My brief was not to treat it like a brochure shoot, just keep it very.
How could you? Yeah, no, fantastic shots.
But I will say, as a former travel photography judge, the standard of pictures that we've been looking at today is just phenomenal.
Good. I've been trying to get the committee to do travel photography for 10 years. I told you it would work, guys. Look at that. It worked.
Yeah, it really did work.
Right. Venice. Marlene, are you with us? That's a shame because we love Venice. And I like this actually. I like this, the atmosphere in this shot. Yeah. Gondolas. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Marlene. Mijo, would you like to say some things about your pictures? Wait.
The mountains of the Atlas Mountains, and I was shocked because there was a lake, and that's what left from the water. So they also have problems with dry weather, because further on there was water that just started living. It was impressive. That man, I was sitting on the other side of the street, waiting till he was really relaxed, and then I took the picture.
This is the picture I wish I'd taken.
Yeah. That almost made it onto the Africa postcard. It's a really good shot, that one too.
He saw me taking pictures, and he ran of that.
They hate it in Morocco. They like cover their faces and run away.
Between the two doors, I took the picture, and this one I took that because it's so typical their own for their culture.
Fantastic. Yeah, another picture I wish I'd taken.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mijo. Pedro.
Yes, this is not really travel. It's like a dream travel.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
It's my Madrid night.
Yeah.
I remember like a travel for downtown. But not really.
No. But if you have more of these, I think next month is there's Blur. Yeah. Next month, perfect.
Oh, skip through mine. I talked about mine already. Go to the next one.
Thank you.
It's me. Yeah.
Richard, the microphone, please, Richard.
That's right. The microphone? Sure. So this is a really good memory for me. My last lovely trip in the US before I left. This was my birthday last year in late September in Bryce Canyon, and just had wonderful weather, some really great skies, a couple mornings, and I don't expect to be back there. As Rachel said, Grand Canyon is amazing, but you really can't capture it. You know, it's so hard, you know, to get a sense of it. Whereas
Can't fit it in your brain. Bryce Canyon's
in
better.
Bryce, you really can. The shapes are amazing.
Beautiful light.
What time of day was that? I think these were all sunrise. I'm a sunrise guy. I live for sunrise.
And this is terrific. The sunburst really adds. Yeah. Thank you. Rod. Oh, yeah. It's me. Yeah. Yeah.
This was actually a shoot for Geo, the magazine, and I really wanted to go east, yeah, and the only thing they could offer me was to go west, yeah. So I did this half as a shoot for the magazine and half of it as a holiday for me. Yeah, and that first one was when we came in on the plane. Yeah, we went from one island to the next because no one's sure where where Columbus landed first. And they both claim that Long Island and San Salvador both claim they were the first. So I really wanted to get the isolated feeling of it, you know, and it really is isolated. It really is not touristy at all, you know. So I wanted to get that, and this is a typical situation, yeah. I have others of a guy riding a bike and doing it, but these were I wanted to get the isolation of the place, and as you can see, that's the airport, yeah.
That's the airport.
Yeah.
And
you can see it's the
That's like my local airport.
I think we were crossing the runway, and I was getting to shoot this one, and they were shouting, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way! There's a plane coming!" Yeah. And of course, you don't see them. They're just small planes. Yeah.
Trevor, are you still with us? Probably not. Yeah, he had to leave because this as well, because I hate him for taking pictures that capture Iceland so well. Yeah. And this, I know exactly where he took this shot, and the aurora was what was missing from my version of that shot. So well done, Trevor. Yeah. Vivian, Vivian, not with this. Just screams Argentina. Yeah. And because Argentina runs up into the Andes, then you'll get llamas and alpacas. And that, yeah, lovely. Like Rachel, I wish I could see more of what he was cooking, and the guy in the red shirt wasn't there. So, Vivian, thank you for that. And I think that's all the pictures. So does anyone want to add anything to what we've just talked about?
I want to say thank you to Dave, because he spent hours trying to give us this new system and put the Spanish on. And I don't know what you think about how well it's worked today, but I think it's absolutely great for our Spanish members to be able to hear what's going on, especially if the critique is come from Costa Rica and you can't see the person in the room. So thank you, Dave. You've done a fantastic job, and we all really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it worked really well. Speaking for somebody remotely, it was good.
It worked okay for you? Oh.
Now I must to learn how to do it without Dave. Help. I'm Frank. You need to do as well.
So let's wrap this up now. In 2 weeks' time, on the 15th, there's Rod's studio session. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be there, Janice. I won't be there. We'll be back in the UK, but it sounds fantastic. A great opportunity to follow on from the faces session to do a bit more on portrait. So please go along to that if you can. On the 22nd, then we have the mid-month meeting with against Framlingham Gateway Computer Club. It's afternoon stroke evening rather than morning, so watch the website. And then next month's challenge is Blur. The deadline's going to be the Sunday the 29th or something like that. Frank, do you want to say anything about the brief for that?
Well, I've done a brief last month, I think, on Blur. So it's simple. Anything that's blurred, unsharp, but make it interesting. Make the colors pop. You can do black and white as well. Composition. You have. The idea is when you see the photo, you have to say, "Oh, this is nice. This is interesting, pretty." Not just the photo that failed. That's not what we're looking for, obviously. Then next month after that is the publicity. So that's posters, billboards, whatever, but in a context, even with people or landscape or something. So you have a little story there, something to look at. And month after that, doesn't pop to mind. I'm sorry. And in mid-September, we are going to organize a trip to the Museum of Ibanez in Olula del Rio, but we'll inform you about that later when we have more details. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you all very much. We'll bring this to a close then. Thank you, and thanks to everyone who submitted pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye to all the people online.
Bye-bye.
Right. Thanks, Dickie. If you can close your window, please, Dickie, and leave the meeting.
Bye-bye.
Remove from the floor. There we go. We're done. Right.